Anyway, we had a deal, like we're learning almost 2-3 pages, very deep stuff, you know. Every day another one can be the thief, but anyway, you can only be the thief if the day before you behave, right? You have to be good. It was so good. The kids were mum's fire, you know, because they realized it relates to them. They also want to steal sometimes, you know, the real little bit bad kids. But cutest in the world, you know. Cute is not the word. And I don't know if I shared with you a story, the one that I hold you up too long, but it was one of my best times. And I was so grateful to my rabbis and to my father, you know, where they taught me. He taught me, in the last row was someone sitting, scribbling the whole time. I told you the story now. So then he says, this Moshe is the worst, because he is mamish gewalt in drawing, and he mamish draws the dirtiest, filthiest pictures, and once a year he's selling them. They can't throw him out, because his father is the sole supporter of the yeshiva. But don't bother with him, you know. This Moshe was sitting in the corner, didn't even look up, he didn't care who the next teacher is. After 3 days, obviously they thought I'm a little bit more soft. After intermission, nobody's in the class. So obviously they are in the men's room, and I'm sure the day is the day of the sale. I'm coming into the kaviyoko, to the holy place, and whole walls are plastered with all those pictures, right? He's really a good artist, you know. But the moment the kids saw me coming in, they're out in a second, right? And Moshe is mamish like, he's dying from fear. Because they told me that the former teacher, he didn't hit him, because he can't, because his father's a top man, top supporter, but you can shockle a kid like this until the neshama goes out, you know. He's standing there shivering. Mama's shivering, you know. So I go up, Mama's, he needs a bigger hug, you know. Obviously his parents also done taking care of him properly. I say, Moshe, you know something? You are going to be a great artist one day. A great artist. And I walk around looking at the pictures, say, you know, unbelievable paintings, but Moshe, this is not the place to sell it, you know. It doesn't fit. I took off the picture slowly. And then I said, Moshe, you know, I want you to learn with me, but real good. We're going back to the class. And that was it. I'm going back to the class, and Moshe is sitting in the last row. I'm sure he didn't raise his hand in 2,000 years. I said, suddenly Moshe raises his hand. I said, Moshe, what's going on? He says, you know, I'm sitting so far from you. Can't I sit a little bit closer? Sweet like sugar. So Moshe, you know what, take a chair and sit right next to me by the desk. I want you to know within 2 days, he was mamash a genius. He was mechaven every Toys's kasha. Every kasha Toys says. This boy has it in him. He could be a gewalt artist, a gewalt rabbi, everything in the world, right? And the learning was to high heaven for 1 week, or whatever it was. The Tanzel man comes back. And I told the kids, do me a favor, call me tomorrow night, we know what's happening. Really, the last time we said goodbye to each other was real sad, you know. It was like leaving the kids to the wolves again. So the kids called me up the next day and they said the first thing the teacher did, because Moshe was hoping he let him sit again on the desk. The first thing, he says, Moshe, go back to your old place and don't bother me, you know. What was his problem? Mamish, did he have eyes full of smoke? He'd never seen the kids yet, right? How can you say such bad things about those kids? They're the cutest, right? You know why they're wild? Because the way he was teaching didn't interest them, right? So what do kids do when they're bored stiff? They're not like adults, sit there and fall asleep and snore. You get wild, right? Anyway, you see, it is so deep. You know, some parents have smoke in their eyes when it comes to their own children. I have seen husbands have smoke in their eyes when it comes to their own wives or their husbands. You wouldn't believe how much smoke is around in the world, right? Listen to this. You know what Sodom is all about? Salt and smoke. Salt is everything tastes better. Bad. You know what smoke is? You can see anything. Well, you know something? When you can walk on the street, when you see a man dying from hunger, and you can pass him by, the problem is not that you don't want to give. The problem is that you didn't see him. Because it's human impossible to see somebody dying from hunger and not give him anything. Can't, right? We guys are human beings, so a little bit God's image, right? So Chanukah is when there's only light, no smoke. Mamish, no smoke. And you know something? On Chanukah, I'm not walking around asking people for forgiveness. Because if I have to ask you for forgiveness, that means that we are not that close. I want you to know something. When I love somebody very much, I hurt their feelings, I don't ask for forgiveness, I just... Well, you know something else? This is the deepest, you know? Why is it when people like each other, they look at their eyes? I know how your nose looks like. It's there to see, right? This is the deepest. And you know, we're looking at the Chanukah candles for 6